Greetings from World University and School on Monday, August 3rd, 2026 at 10 a.m. Pacific time, and from Santa Cruz, California, about an hour and a quarter southwest of the San Francisco Bay Area. Perhaps at the end of this WUAS weekly business meeting, I'll head over to near the Santa Cruz Surfing Museum, and perhaps we can see some surfers and some seals and some otters too. So as we wait to see if people will join this WUAS weekly business meeting, news and question and answer, I'd like to share a little news with you further. As World University and School, building on MIT OpenCourseware in 7 languages, and like Wikipedia, Wikidata in about 348 languages, continues to grow and seek to accredit and offer free online degrees from home, WUAS degrees, in all 200 countries and in their main languages. Potentially first, however, in possibly English, and for matriculating students from all 200 countries, possibly this January 2027. So, liebe dear Bundeskanzlerin.ad Angela Merkel, World University and School community, networks and friends, Universitians, greetings from World University and School and the SF Bay Area. And I'm seeking to revisit further the following today, Monday, August 3rd, 2026, at 10 a.m. Pacific time, if the opportunity arises. And for example, if people join the WUAS weekly business meeting, loosely conducted in the manner of friends, NTFs, Quakers. Let me just check to see if anyone's seeking to join us. Not yet. So on Monday, July 20th, I communicated with Jaimin Pavashia, Stefania Trabucci, both at abstract-technology.de in Berlin, as well as, I think, Bundeskanzlerin.ad Angela Merkel and Roland Vogel, Stanford Law Codex Director, Sid Mazumdar in Health and Human Services, HHS in the US federal government, and Peter Norvig, Stanford Distinguished Education Fellow and Google AI Director, and others, regarding this following email from Abstract Technology DE. What I'm following up on is how to begin adding MIT OpenCourseware in 7 languages, potentially to the Open edX platform, Open edX Europe platform, possibly with abstract-technology.de, creating or adding MIT OpenCourseware and creating initially even German World University and School and I guess World University and School in English, the first one in the German language, and then potentially accrediting in Germany. So, dear Jaimin, Stephanie, Bundeskanzlerin, Angela Merkel, Roland Vogel, Sid Mazumdar, Peter Norvig, Gottes Willen, wie Sie in Bayern sagen, wo ich in 1981 bis 82 studiert habe. For God's sake, as they say in Bayern, but Gottes Willen has many other meanings. Where I studied in Bavaria in 1981 and 1982 as a kind of exchange student or a student from Reed College in a Lewis and Clark program in Munich. Gottes Willen. Thanks so much for your email reply, Jaimin, to my abstract-technology.de contacts message. Especially, I'll bring your email to World University and School's weekly business meeting, loosely conducted in the manner of unprogrammed friends, NTFs, non-theist friends, Quakers, monthly business meeting. Having just received a U.S. federal simpler-grants.gov or simpler.grants.gov webinar recording from June 30th. Today is August 3rd. And in World University and School, seeking to deploy with the full U.S. federal toolkit, it's possible WUAS, after some 20 years of friendly Quaker-inspired or friendly-led, pretty much daily growth, will have access to funding sources. If World University and School were able to remunerate abstract-technology.de, and in developing legal contracts for this, and for, quote, platform builds, migrations, hosting, custom development, AI integration, and related services, which are delivered on a paid contractual basis to funded institutions and organizations, how might we potentially proceed? As you may have read, and regarding your statement, Jaimin, we are not in a position to take on unfunded platform builds, translation work, e.g. MIT OCW into German, or free multi-country deployments. World University and School is seeking to develop in all 200 countries and in their main languages, and in the 32 Atlantic Partnership countries, per a meeting between Bundeskanzlerin Angela Merkel and former Prime Minister of England, Theresa May. And see agenda item number 1 here in the weekly business meeting from July of 2026, beginning Mount Gongga, Minya Konka, China, in both blogs. And potentially for adding MIT OCW in 7 languages to an open edX Europe-like platform, to make free to students WUAS degrees available in all 200 countries, WUAS universities, building out WUAS translation of MIT OCW further into many languages and on an open edX Europe-like platform is something WUAS is interested in exploring. And brainstorming, I'm wondering if abstract-technology.de could connect WUAS with German computer scientists to explore developing the AI and ML to translate MIT OCW's more than 2,500 courses in English into German, and possibly also into the Bangla or Bengali language of Bangladesh and West Bengal, India, early on. And further, if WUAS could hire through abstract-technology.de as a major growth story for you especially, such German AI and ML and NLP, natural language processing, computer scientists, to create even Germany World University and School in German and in English, and for German students around the world and in Germany interested in free to students WUAS degrees, like most of German universities are free, I've read, but newly studying MIT OCW in German as a whole new set of courses in Germany. How best might we do this? As you may know, also, World University and School is in a #GrowWithGoogle WUAS program. And then building on your success with the German University of Digital Science, which abstract-technology.de created, I think, on the Open edX Europe platform, and their accreditation networks, contacts, and people, how might WUAS do this, and potentially through abstract-technology.de as a further growth story for you? Once World University in School is accredited and building on CC4 licensed MIT OCW, which says anyone can, 1, share it freely, 2, adapt it, e.g. with artificial intelligence and machine learning, e.g. further with Open edX Europe, but 3, non-commercially, so World University in School will be free to students. WUS is seeking remuneration from all 200 countries' ministries of education, along the lines in the rich countries of what it costs to attend MIT, Harvard, Stanford, around $65,000 a year. Euros roughly this too, possibly slightly more in euros per year per student. All of this could prove to be a further remarkable growth opportunity for abstract-technology.de. How best to proceed with these questions further? And as these queries season regarding WUAS Weekly Business Meeting today, Monday, August 3rd, 2026, would you like to join WUAS Weekly Business Meeting to talk further about all of this on an upcoming Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific time or another time and day? Best regards, Scott Gordon MacLeod. And check out also the Adirondack High Peaks Wilderness New York blog posts, weekly business meeting news and agenda published in July of 2026 in both blogs. P.S. Bundeskanzlerin.ad Angela Merkel, how might World University in School come into communication with your quantum physics PhD colleagues and potentially to build out a hashtag realistic virtual earth for quantum and a hashtag realistic virtual earth for aging reversal too, and regarding a hashtag realistic virtual earth for genetics and the Google quantum computer at the University of California, Santa Barbara. And regarding this 2-minute short video, beginning something like quantum echoes, verified quantum advantage. And regarding this quantum echoes 2-minute video, including running simulations forward and in reverse, to reverse the arrow of time, hashtag reversing the arrow of time. So check out the YouTube video that Google put together regarding the Google quantum computer at the University of California, Santa Barbara. You'll find it, I think, in last week's WUS Weekly Business Meeting, Monday, July 27th. I think it begins Wuling Yuan Mountains in China in both blogs. A set of Twitter posts in these regards. Super, hashtag quantum echoes, including running simulations forward and in reverse, hashtag reversing the arrow of time, with the YouTube video link for this 2-minute quantum echoes video. How does hashtag quantum computing help determine complex hashtag G molecular structures? How to interoperate with hashtag realistic virtual earth for aging reversal, hashtag RVE for drugs, hashtag WUAS UNIVS, World Universities. More further about this also regarding quantum echoes in the blog post beginning Monterey clover, Trifolium trichocalyx, from July of 2026. So on Monday, July 20th, after first reaching out on July 1st, 2026, on Monday, July 20th, 2026, Jaimin wrote to me from abstract-technology.de. Dear Scott, thank you for the detailed follow-ups and for sharing the wider context of World University and School's mission, along with the various blog posts and communications you've included us in over the past weeks. As shared in our original outreach on July 1st, 2026, Abstract Technology GmbH, it's like a limited liability corporation for Germany, is a commercial, verified open edX service partner. Our engagements, platform builds, migrations, hosting, custom development, AI integration, and related services are delivered on a paid contractual basis to funded institutions and organizations. Based on what you've described, particularly your note that World University and School is currently not financially operational, I want to be transparent with you. This is unfortunately not a fit for us for the services we offer at this stage. Specifically, 3 points. We are not in a position to take on unfunded platform builds, translation work, e.g. MIT OCW into German, or free multi-country deployments. Accreditation processes in Germany or elsewhere sit entirely with national accreditation bodies, I think state accreditation bodies too, and the applying institution. This is not a service Abstract-Technology provides, and we were not involved in accrediting the German University of Digital Science. Our role there was limited to building and supporting the technical platform which they use for their program delivery. Given the above, I don't see a realistic path for us to engage commercially on the WUAS initiatives you've outlined. I'd also kindly ask to be removed from the recurring weekly business meeting emailings and related mailing threads, as these fall outside the scope of our commercial conversations. I genuinely wish you the best with World University and School's mission, and thank you again for your interest in abstract technology. I will proceed, I think, with the WUAS weekly business meeting for today, August 3rd, in the blog posts beginning Santa Cruz Mountains, California, using the blog post from last week, July 27th, 2026, beginning Wuling Yuan Mountains, China. And regarding also the agenda that I posted last week. Friendly yoga greetings, abolitionally at Wiki Yoga World University and School 2 with the Yoga Wiki School in English, not yet in the other 7,100 languages, and we're a best Steam Creative Commons licensed open courseware wiki at World Univ and SCH, building on CC4 MIT OCW in 7 languages. Hashtag WUAS abolition movement continues to grow to protect people. See the blog post from October of 2025 beginning Eagle Akia World University and School. And in WUAS, seeking to code for all 7.9 billion people on the planet to facilitate wiki and with free to students degrees, free universal education, and potentially to end poverty worldwide by distributing Pi cryptocurrency free money daily to most of the people on the planet, which you can get here at mindpi.com/SGKMAC, clicking 2 buttons every 24 hours and getting a few Pi coins, which on the Pi app on your smartphone continues the Pi coins or the currency continue to rise up towards infinity to the right of the decimal point. So I have about 6,900 Pi coin that I've accumulated so far by clicking these two buttons every 24 hours. Yogically, 8 limbs of yoga, and see the tree of 8 limbs of yoga picture in this Q_yoga Macflower Twitter post. Friendly NTF, NTQ Quaker, and regarding Quaker spices and Unitarian Universalist Church, and regarding the 7 or 8 UU principles, greetings. And also regarding the Desiderata prose poem. Kind regards, Scott G.K. McLeod, president at worlduniversityandschool.org is my email. Presently, founder, president, CEO, and professor at a yoga teacher, and presiding and recording clerk loosely in the manner of unprogrammed NTF friends Quakers. And the recording of today's WUAS weekly business meeting will be posted to the main current YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Scott McLeod World University/videos. So a little bit of focus further today on WUAS accreditation and Germany WUAS and German WUAS. Moving to the first wing of World University and School, the first of 2 WUAS wings, the World University and School wing, 501c3 or similar nonprofit. Check out the candid.org profile for World University and School, and which builds on CC license best Steam open courseware, and which is Wiki. The current main web page, homepage for this is worlduniversityandschool.org, and see both exempt legal entities, tax IDs, at the bottom of worlduniversityandschool.org. Both the federal U.S. Tax-exempt legal entity and the state of California tax-exempt entity. So check out the video minutes from posted to July 27th, the Monday weekly business meeting, using the agenda of July 20th, 2026. In today's, last week's July 27, 2026 weekly business meeting agenda and news. Agenda item 1. How best can at World Univ and SCH in a hashtag grow with Google WUAS program with the hashtag G quantum computer in these hashtag G quantum echoes, this 2-minute short YouTube video, interoperate this forward and rewind of an ink drop in the 2-minute video, beginning about 5 seconds into the video, with OSK, Oct, Sox, Kiffle, which are the first 3 of 4 Yamanaka factors, which seem to be able to, which can reverse aging in certain cell types, and interoperate with hashtag avatar agent EHR, electronic health records, hashtag reversing the arrow of time in a hashtag realistic virtual earth for genetics. So that's also a set of Twitter posts. And in what ways could World University and School, in building out a realistic virtual earth, begin to plan for this? Writing the algorithms, writing the quantum algorithms, creating the realistic virtual earth for genetics early on, with a focus on Yamanaka factors and avatar agent electronic health records, to be able to use these to further experiment with and reversing aging and regarding extreme longevity genetics. See also the Aging Reversal Genetics Wiki School or Wiki Subject at World University and School in these regards in English presently, but planned in all 200 countries' main languages. And again, see the 2-minute short video, Google Quantum Echoes YouTube video. In my blog, scott-mccloud.blogspot.com from July of 2026, in the blog post beginning Willow Salix Babylonica. So I asked Gemini, what is reversing the arrow of time in quantum super echoes? And regarding this video, this 2-minute short video. And Gemini says, in classical physics, entropy dictates that once a system scrambles, like the drop of ink dissolving in the ocean, it is practically impossible to perfectly undo. However, in the quantum realm, Google Quantum AI's Quantum Echoes algorithm utilizes a time reversal protocol that mimics rewinding the clock. The mechanism works through out-of-time order correlators, OTOCS, run on Google's 105-qubit Willow chip. There are 4 elements to this: forward evolution, perturbation, the tweak of, I think, the algorithms and maybe the qubits as well, backward evolution, the rewind, and fourthly, constructive interference. As Gemini says, regarding this fourth one, because the quantum state is reversed, the signal unscrambles, quote unquote, itself, and constructive interference amplifies a return signal, the quote quantum echo, unquote. This allows scientists to rescue complex, weak quantum signals that would normally be lost to noise or classical decay, acting essentially as a quantum microscope. Gemini AI goes on next section, developing this for aging reversal and extreme longevity genetic drug therapies. To advance extreme longevity research and develop generic drug therapies that can successfully clear FDA approval pipelines, we must understand exactly how molecules interact at the atomic scale. Historically, Google Quantum AI's hardware research has been closely integrated with the University of California, Santa Barbara, UCSB, using the Willow chip's verifiable quantum advantage, which completes in 2 hours what would take a classical supercomputer roughly 13,000 times longer. This technology can be developed to accelerate drug discovery in several key ways. One, as a high precision, quote unquote, molecular ruler for NMR, nuclear magnetic resonance spectroscopy on organic molecules. 2, resolving protein folding in aging pathways. Many aging-related diseases and longevity targets involve complex misfolded proteins in intricate epigenetic regulators. Quantum computing can simulate protein folding in their natural medium, bypassing classical computational bottlenecks. Scaling this technique to molecules with 50 to 60 spins will allow researchers to accurately model how longevity therapies fold and bind. 3, mapping exact drug target binding. Before an extreme longevity genetic therapy or small molecule can with FDA approval, researchers must prove exactly how and where it binds to its target receptors to minimize off-target side effects. A quantum microscope powered by Willow can map these drug-target interfaces at unprecedented resolutions, dramatically shortening the preclinical trial design phase and optimizing drug efficacy. To learn more about how Google is scaling this technology from theory to physical biochemistry, you can watch the full video on the Google Research YouTube channel with a link to that. And check out it's actually the AI mode from Google rather than Gemini that responded to my question there. So I asked Google's AI mode also, what is reversing the arrow of time? And got a few more responses asked it in different ways. So for example, and how could this development determine complex molecular structures for aging reversal and extreme longevity? Genetic drug therapies emerging from the FDA approved, and with the Google quantum computer at UCSB, for example. Check out these responses. Agenda item 2, developing World University in School in the Open edX Europe platform, and potentially in developing Open edX Europe as a translation platform too, as WUAS seeks to add CC4 licensed MIT OCW in 7 languages, and Creative Commons licensed Open Yale courses too. That URL is oyc.yale.edu to Open edX Europe, and to build out 200 world-class online universities in all 200 countries' main languages. And please check out and read the entire blog post regarding details, beginning Dragon Tree Drakara Chinibari in my blog, scott-mccloud.blogspot.com, from July of 2026. Agenda item 3. This is regarding India and the uniform civil law that India wishes to grow, and some political tensions in these regards, and how World University and law schools, planned in all 200 countries and then in their main languages, and potentially in all 22 scheduled languages in India, could help. It's an article titled something like "Why Political Fury is Boiling Over on the Streets of India's Capital, New Delhi." This is actually about medical school exams, rather. With the biggest demonstrations it has seen in years, and as young protesters demand change to a national exam system they say cheats millions of them out of a fair chance. And how could World University and medical schools help in these regards? Even at India World University and School, India WUAS, and potentially for the poorest in India, and possibly brainstorming in Toyota teaching hospital buses, possibly brainstorming even further with Toyota humanoid robot MD professors of surgery in the future, teaching, and in the languages, possibly more than just the 22 scheduled languages in India, but all 453 languages by one count in India would be possible for free online degrees, potentially. More about this in the blog post beginning Lesser Florican Syphidites indicus from July of 2026. Agenda item 4. This is regarding natural history Museum of Natural History, founded in 1860 at Oxford University, and a realistic virtual Earth for museums, and which is Wiki too, and that would allow people to add resources to this online museum, even to, for example, the Oxford Museum of Natural History in a digital space. Recent picture on Twitter came up of a new redisplay of this Museum of Natural History at Oxford. And a set of Twitter posts in these regards. Great, let's make this Oxford Museum redisplay or update virtual too. And also for a realistic virtual Earth for evolutionary biology. Be able to see dinosaurs evolving, and the dinosaurs in this display, the dinosaur bones in this display, become dinosaurs themselves in a virtual space, in virtual reality. And as part of a realistic virtual Earth for museums, which is Wiki 2 at World Univ and SCH, and with new method and theory. I'll call it Museum Wiki Virtual World Graphy, building on Ethno Wiki Virtual World Graphy. So ethnography is an interpretive practice of people. Wiki, it means fast in Hawaiian, and virtual world refer to these new developments in the information age of online virtual Earths and worlds creations. And a museum wiki virtual graphy would involve being able to write museumography, wiki fast into virtual worlds, potentially that we as individuals could add with resources too. Check out the new picture of this redisplay from the University of Oxford's Natural History Museum. And check out also the museum's wiki subject page at World University and School with an invitation to wiki teach there or wiki learn by clicking edit this page, which is not yet in 200 countries or languages or 7,000 languages. More about this in a blog post beginning Calypso Bulbosa in my blog, scott-mccloud.blogspot.com from July of 2026. Agenda item 5. How to connect most every of greater than 2,500 ocw.mit.edu courses to a realistic virtual Earth. And see Peter Norvig's incredible Toolify AI WUS article on the Toolify website regarding a realistic virtual Earth too, as WUS field sites. So how to turn each of these MIT OpenCourseWare courses into or develop them with a WUS field site potentially. And for hashtag AI and ML WUAS, and in hashtag abstract technology DE, potentially the Berlin project to which has created the German history of digital, the German University of Digital Science. And regarding also WUAS research, adding MIT OCW in 7 languages to hashtag Open edX Europe, and for the development of a realistic virtual Earth for STEM. So think Google Street View with Time Slider, Google Maps, Google Earth, TensorFlow AI, and at the Google Cell View and Google Molecule and Google Atom View and Google Qubit View levels for a realistic virtual Earth for STEM, where students can learn further AI and ML as they potentially help build out this realistic virtual Earth for STEM. Set a Twitter post in these regards, and also LinkedIn posts. And visit the Harbin Hot Springs Gatehouse here in Google Street View, and walk down the road to Middletown, California in Google Street View, and wiki add your photos from below the old Harbin Gate. First book I wrote, Naked Harbin Ethnography, is about making a virtual Harbin also. And check it out with some links to these. Naked Harbin Ethnography, Hippies, Warm Pools, Counterculture, Clothing Optionality, and Virtual Harbin, published in 2016, which I hope will lead to the emergence of a realistic virtual Harbin hot springs for further ethnographic and STEM research from home, from our home bathtubs. And think also in these regards of Google Street View with TimeSlider, Gmaps, Gearth, Gemini AI, and hashtag 3D group buildable, hashtag virtual world of hashtag Second Life. And again, visit the Harbin Hot Springs Gatehouse in Google Street View and walk down the road to Middletown, California in Google Street View, 4 miles away, and wiki add your photos to Google Street View from below the old Harbin Gate. Agenda item 6. Someone on LinkedIn, a professor in Germany and Austria, wrote a LinkedIn post, I just finished grading 30 final papers for my master's class, and I'm worried about AI. AI worries me in many regards and makes me hopeful in others, but grading those assignments highlighted 2 problems in a new way. So Peter Luca Verstegen continues. These are the 2 ways that he thinks AI is worrisome. 1, AI shifts standards. Students in my class were asked to write an academic paper, including all steps from research gap, question, lit review, theory, research design, and discussion. The assignment was to conduct an entire research project with the exception of actually collecting and analyzing the data. Students were allowed to and encouraged to use AI, but had to declare how they used it and reflect on how it changed their work. Many declared to have used it to enhance writing, challenge their theory, or improve the methods. While grading, I noticed that this shifts the standards in 2 regards. First, students produce things that they did not necessarily understand themselves. That is, they themselves couldn't keep up with the standards they had AI create for them. Second, they produce text so polished, theories so, at least superficially, smart, and methods so advanced that hashtag other students who relied less on AI could barely keep up with that new standard. In short, I worry that the use of AI creates unrealistic standards and that students who don't use AI as much because they want to practice thinking or writing or for other reasons will be penalized. 2, AI undermines joy. Most of the time, it's fun to identify research problems, create research designs, and write. I assume that most students study because they want to be skilled in a discipline and because they care about a topic. If they outsource basic tasks to AI to be more efficient or improve their grade, they take parts of the fun away. If they challenge their work with AI, that tells them why their work can't keep up with AI standards. That they take parts of the fun away. People in senior position often complain that they can no longer do the tasks they started their careers for, e.g. professors who are too busy to do, quote, actual research, end quote. Senior managers who are too remote from what their company produces because they are just managing. I'm convinced that society is a better place if people enjoy what they do. And I worry AI is another factor that makes us forget what many of us enjoy. Shifting standards and undermining joy clearly isn't just a problem in university assignments, but it may be particularly grave on this level because BA and MA, Bachelor of Arts and Masters of Arts, Bachelor of Science and Masters of Science education is about developing basic thinking and research skills and about finding out what you enjoy. I'm sharing this here because I'd be curious to hear other people's experiences and how they design assignments that can be completed and graded based on realistic standards that maintain or even promote joy. And check out Peter Luca Versteegen's LinkedIn post itself and add your thoughts, for example, and see more about this in the blog post beginning Calypso Bulbosa in my blog, scott-mccloud.blogspot.com from July of 2026. Agenda item 7. So how to bring Google Quantum Computer into interoperating with yoga in a realistic virtual earth for quantum, a realistic virtual earth for yoga, and regarding aging reversal, and even film to avatar agent yoga teachers, such as Yogini Angela Farmer, and experimenting. Explored this on Saturday, July 25th, 2026 in an open free online yoga class that is basically an email yoga class. Check out the blog post beginning Red Everlasting, Elixisum Sanguineum. And this is also regarding further a hashtag yoga and longevity genetics convo. So check out the blog post or set of Twitter posts about this, Red Everlasting, Alicarisum Sanguineum, hashtag qubits, yoga, and hashtag aging reversal, and hashtag GQubit, and hashtag film to avatar agent yoga teachers, such as hashtag Yogini Angela Farmer, and experimenting, a restorative class on Saturdays, and hashtag as we may live to 150 and well beyond in the blog post beginning Red Everlasting, and hashtag WUAS yoga. And this retweets a Red Everlasting picture. So further, ask Gemini Artificial Intelligence how to develop from videos of teachers, avatar agent teachers, who might then interactively engage the people in their class, such as Yogini Angela Farmer in this video, an hour-and-a-half long class by Angela Farmer living fully in our bodies, full class. Becoming a virtual Angela Farmer, yoga teacher, giving feedback to the people she was in conversation with, or teaching at their computer screens, and both as and with large language models and natural language processing, but also such that avatar agent virtual Angela Farmer could see and hear what the person she was teaching was doing, in order to give personalized feedback. And in teaching also 8 limbs of yoga, Angela Farmer and Victor YogaWise. And eventually in an n-dimensional realistic virtual earth for yoga. And when might this become more fully realized than it is in the future? This film to avatar agent teachers. And this is what Gemini said: developing an interactive AI avatar agent modeled on a master teacher like Yogini Angela Farmer, capable of observing, listening, conversing, and guiding students in real time, requires blending multimodal AI, spatial computing, computer vision, and specialized pedagogical remodeling. It outlines the technical architecture, building the agent, a number of steps: student in the real world, webcam, video, and mic opera, mic audio, 1, perception engine, pose estimation, micro movement, and audio analysis, 2, cognitive engine, multimodal LLM, and Angela Victor, RAG, and 8 limbs knowledge, 3, synthesis engine, audio-driven 3D avatar, Angela voice and motion, 4, virtual earth engine, spatial XR, 3D simulation rendered on screen XR. And then it characterizes what these involve. Further, you can see more about this also, read more about this in the blog post beginning Red Everlasting from July of 2026 in my blog. Google Quantum Computer Explorations at UCSB and yoga from 670 Ridgecrest Canyon, California. How? And further, in a realistic virtual Harbin Hot Springs, to develop the oneness experience, samadhi, which is the 8th limb of yoga, from our home bathtubs and hot tubs, and in a realistic virtual earth for aging reversal, and at the qubit level 2. How further? And see some further early explorations of this in this blog post in beginning Red Everlasting. You can search on PPS AAA. Emailed also to Michael Lucy and Kimberly Healy, an email about Adeline Yoga in Oakland, near the Berkeley-Oakland border, and others about some yoga classes I took there and why I'm not going back, and possibly regarding questions about Iyengar yoga itself. Dear yoga teachers Michael Lucy, Kim Healy, other Adeline yoga teachers in Oakland, Berkeley, near Ashby Bart, and Alice Admin and Marlene Way, MD J-Day, a co-author of the Harvard Medical School Guide to Yoga, 8 Weeks to Strength, Awareness, and Flexibility, 2017, Harvard Medical School Press, all. Kim Healy, thanks for a nice first yoga class at Adeline Yoga yesterday, Thursday, July 23rd, 2026, and for our brief conversation afterward. Interesting to learn of our shared hippie vision, seeking to develop the yoga conversation here. And it's interesting to learn we both studied at UCSB and also in Oregon and in Geneva, Switzerland. And great to talk about the Google Quantum Computer, potentially regarding aging reversal and extreme longevity genetic drug therapies emerging. And with World University and School in a hashtag Grow with Google WUAS program, and see the PS. And in WUAS developing a physical digital, hashtag realistic virtual earth for aging reversal, a WUAS hashtag realistic virtual earth for genetics, a hashtag realistic virtual earth for quantum, and WUAS hashtag realistic virtual earth for yoga, and hashtag for yoga asana, hashtag for everything, hashtags on hashtag Twitter X and hashtag LinkedIn. And see Peter Norvig's incredible Toolify AI WUS article regarding a realistic virtual earth that mentions first mention of this that I know of other than by WUAS, and for mentioning also hashtag virtual Harbin and studying bliss there in world too, in his Tulify.ai article. My Harbin Hot Springs inspired books titles and links are below too. How best to grow yoga and all 8 limbs with aging reversal genetics with the Google Quantum Computer at UCSB, and in an iterating realistic virtual earth that World University and School grows further with us as UCSB alumni, I wonder, and somehow experimentally. And regarding the Quaker quote from George Fox, something like "This I know experimentally," by which he may have meant in the late mid 1600s experientially. In addition to growing 200 world-class World University and School universities, potentially by adding MIT OCW in 7 languages to an open edX platform further, and also from the Nation States Wiki subject at World University and School, and with Wiki Yoga Schools at the Yoga Wiki World University and School further too, I'm also seeking a life partner and with whom to begin a family, and potentially meeting her, a 28-year-old attractive medical doctor or similar in a yoga class, as I and the WUS Academic Medical Center continue to seek to move forward further into a newly safe vacant 670 Ridgecrest Road, Canyon, California. Thanks so much for the good yoga class, and may explore further with the starter's pass at Adeline. But then I've decided not to go back for safety reasons even. Yogically, as in 8 Limbs of Yoga, abolitionally, best wishes, happy yoga teaching, Scott. And a set of Twitter posts regarding the Google quantum echoes and reversing the arrow of time. And as I continue to teach a yoga class also on Saturday mornings at 8 a.m., sending out this out via email a day or two ahead of time. Read more about this in the blog post beginning Red Everlasting. Agenda item 8. How could a realistic virtual earth for genetics, and think G Street View with G Time Slider and G Pegman becoming our avatar agent EHR at the G Cell View and G Molecule and G Qubit view levels, help with the following 3 ER100 epigenetic reprogramming 100 gene drug therapy developments, which ER100 is going through clinical trials, and even be a game changer. And how best could World University and School, building on MIT OCW in 7 languages, begin to develop this realistic virtual earth further, and possibly for drug development, and with the Google Quantum Computer, and in the shop at 670 Ridgecrest Canyon, and see the blog post beginning the Dragon Tree, Drakara. So moving to the second wing of WUAS, the WUAS Corporation, the second of 2 WUAS wings, the for-profit general stock company legal entity in the state of California, the WUS Corporation, WUS Press, academic press at WUS planned in 7,159 languages with machine and human translation. And regarding the WUS Educational Services Stores, its beginning webpage is worlduniversityandschool.org/academicpress.html, and see the tax ID for this State of California General Stock Company legal entity at the bottom of that webpage. Agenda item A, Pi cryptocurrency free money daily. Get it here with an invitation. Tweeted that on Friday, July 24th, 2026. And as WUS seeks to code for all 7.9 billion people on the planet and end poverty too from here. You at World University wiki subject, wiki.worlduniversityandschool.org/wiki/you at World University. which I think has Wikidata as its backend structured knowledge database, where Wikidata and Wikimedia are based out of Berlin. Agenda item B, the WUS Corporation would also seek to develop with Pi cryptocurrency. You can get yours here, minepi.com/SGKMAC, with a WUS store within a store model with Walmart in 19 out of 200 countries. And as WUAS develops our physical digital WUAS stores in all 200 countries, and beginning with the World University and School /academicpress.html, which also has, in addition to 5 books presently, 3 Lego robotics kits. And in some communication with Walmart's CEO, John Furner, and others. So that's the WUS news and question and answer for Monday, August 3rd, 2026. I'll post the recording to the current main YouTube channel, youtube.com/Scott McLeod, World University /videos, also to the 2 main Twitter feeds, twitter.com/WORLDUNIVANDSCH and twitter.com/WUS Press, as well as to the 2 blog posts for today, beginning Santa Cruz Mountains, California, and using the blog post from last week, using the agenda and news from last week's weekly business meeting, beginning Wuling Yuan Mountains, China, as well as to the main LinkedIn feeds for World University and School. So if you have questions about World University and School as we seek to potentially matriculate students, possibly Monday, January 4th, 2027, let me know at president@worlduniversityandschool.org. And now I'd like to try to show anyone who might be watching this video a little bit of Santa Cruz near the Santa Cruz Surfing Museum. So I'm going to get up and walk around with my computer as I also put some things into my knapsack and put my knapsack onto my back. Right behind me are the trees where the monarch butterflies often can be found. I don't think this is their season right now. I don't think there are any monarch butterflies there. But I think there will be some. I'm not sure what their season is. Hey, Google, when do the monarchs appear in the trees around the Santa Cruz Surfing Museum? I've asked my smartphone in my pocket.
Butterflies typically arrive in the grove at Lighthouse Field State Beach, right across from the surfing museum, from mid-October to mid-February. The best time to see them in large clusters is during peak season from late October through November.
So it said the best time to see them is late October to mid-November. They appear around that time. So they're also behind me here. These are the trees where they often can be found. And I'm walking toward the beach, the cliffs, as well as a cafe that's there, and hope to get to see some actual surfers on the water near the Santa Cruz Surfing Museum. I think the area is called West Cliff, and possibly some seals and some otters as well. In what ways could World University and School grow with a kind of surfing ethos? There's a freedom in surfing, in modernity, in internetity, that's interesting. And it seems like people are out off of these West Cliffs almost year round. in wetsuits, almost always in the cold Pacific, and find their way to surfboards. Waves continue to provide good surfing throughout the year. Behind me is the cafe, and it's an outdoor cafe. There's also some other amenities there. Off to my right is Lighthouse Field, I think it's called. And further, coming toward the beach, wearing my Santa Cruz hat. Let's see what we can see. There's still a faint hippie ethos here, somewhat hippie ethos in 2026, long after the 60s and 70s. This is the cafe here. And here is the West Cliffs. The surfing museum is behind those trees. Lots of people come here and congregate in interesting, somewhat ways. I think it's far from, it's a mile or so from the downtown area, which is a little bit further developed with volleyball courts and even some Ferris wheels, a little bit different as an ethos than the openness of just being outside near the water. So coming, I see 5 surfers out there. Don't see any otters yet. I see 1 kayak. So here are the surfers, and that's West Cliff, I think. There are 5 surfers. Oh, is that one up there and surfing right now? I think so, 2 on that wave. And then behind me is Santa Cruz Surfing Museum, just a little north of the surfers. And the surfers are now, who were on the wave, now in the water, and they paddle back out. So that's World University and Schools weekly business meeting. I'm just going to turn around here and you can see downtown part of Santa Cruz, I think, in the other direction, south a little bit. So until next week, Monday, August 10th, looking forward to communication in multiple ways online. worlduniversityandschool.org is the main webpage right now. Check out twitter.com/worldunit and SCH and twitter.com/WUS Press, as well as the LinkedIn profiles for further idea sharing about growing free World University and School. Bye for now.